Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Computer's going up the wall. Juventus 2, Manchester City 0, Champions League qualification. Looking very, very grim. Paris Saint-Germain away next, Bruges at home. Left ourselves with a mountain to climb. The Feyenoord result the other week didn't help the cause, but last night again, no fight, no bite, nothing in the final third. It's all right. Us knocking the ball around nice and pretty and looking good, and people thinking, oh, we didn't play that bad. Well, we didn't play that bad considering the way we have played, but we got beat 2-0. So these teams are letting us have a lot of possession. We're knocking it around nice and pretty in the middle of the park. We're getting to the edge of the box. We're going from side to side, side to side. We've got the best number 9 in the world stood in the middle. Nobody crosses the ball to him. Nobody puts a through ball to him. So basically, all you've got to do is wrestle Haaland for 90 minutes and keep hold of him, no problem. And City will just knock it around the edge of the box. We've got nobody else in that team that's scoring goals. We've got nobody else in that team that's grabbing a game by the scruff of the neck and dragging us over the line. Last night, the Grealish in the middle and De Bruyne in the middle didn't work. Do you know what I mean? It's all right when we've got the ball. I feel like we're pressing really high up the pitch and then we're making a silly mistake. Teams are countering on us. They only need one chance and they're scoring. There's big problems there. You know, whether we like it or not, there's big problems there. What this football team and what this manager have achieved over the last 10 years has been fantastic. And nobody's ever going to say anything less than that. Do you know what I mean? But I said it on one of my podcasts before. They've made us believe now, and they've set a bar, and the bar's here. And at the minute, we're here. So they can't get upset with fans who are puzzled by what's going on. We've got a cloud hanging over the club with the 115 charges. You get conspiracy theorist people saying, oh, the players know something's happening. They've downed tools. They know what's going on. They can't wait to get out. So these run of results not only kicks the fans in the bollocks, but also lets rival fans pile on top of us with stuff that, you know, made up stuff. But it's that mad. You end up maybe start believe some of the bullshit, thinking maybe the players do know something. Maybe there is something going to come out. Maybe it's not all rosy behind the scene. Because we're used to the Manchester City ship, you know, being very, very steady, sailing around through the waters, nice. This is choppy waters. 1 win in 10. It's Stuart Pearce form. And Stuart Pearce era was the worst by far. At least when we were in the early 90s, we had a bit of a team and we had a go, and we were up and down like a yo-yo. This is at the minute, we've got the quality players on paper, but they're just not playing this system. You've got Ilkay Gundogan coming out after the game saying there's certain mentality issues and things like that, and we're making mistakes. And then you've got Pep coming out after him saying he disagrees with him. So something's not right. Something's not right. You know, a team that's won 4 Premier League titles on the bounce, yeah, are allowed a drop off. It's expected. But this is dropping off the edge of a cliff. This is relegation form. 1 win in 10. You know, we've got the Manchester derby coming up at weekend. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If we go and flatten them lot, then obviously people will be buzzing. But then we got Villa the week after our 12 kickoff. And looking at the way Man City are playing at the minute, every game's tough. It looks like we're going into every game with a fight. There's not one game where you're going to sit back and think, yeah, we'll stroll that. Because it's not going to happen. Pep's saying he needs his players back. I agree with him. I'm sick of going over it. I feel like the mistakes were made in the summer. We didn't get enough bodies in. So I'm sick of talking about that. There's only so many times you can say that. But there's definitely a problem. There's a mentality issue there as well. There's certain players look like they want to hide on the pitch. They don't want the ball. There's some players that want a lot of the ball. You've got Ruben Diaz, who's coming out saying all the right things. You've got Kyle Walker, who's the fans are getting on his case because he's captain. I seen at the end of the game, it looked like a few fans at the front were having a few words with Walker and Haaland, so I don't know what that was about. I've heard a rumour that Kyle Walker's playing with an injury. He needs an operation, but he's not having it done because, he's trying to fight for the team. Well, I wish he'd come out and say that, because a lot of people are worried by his performances and the lack of pace, etc. People are saying he's lost it. So, if he's carrying a niggle and an injury, it might explain a few things. But that's what I heard anyway. I don't know if it's true. The only positive light I can see is that Phil Foden was back and Kovacic was back. And I do believe that Kovacic coming into the midfield with Ilkay Gundogan as a 2 makes us a lot better side. I feel like Kovacic can drive from midfield. I feel like Ilkay at the minute, he's just going through the motions. He looks tired. He doesn't really want the ball. Every time people were catching us on a counter-attack, he was miles off the play. We've had this conversation about Rico. 1 minute he's right back, then he's left back, then he's in the middle of the park. He's only a young lad. He's playing a lot of football. You've got Savinho, who's brought in. He needed taking out the limelight. I think he went 15, 16 games, no goal. So people are going to start looking at his contributions. Jeremy Doku last night didn't really do much. He doubled up on him on the left. And then Erling Haaland, he had a good chance in the first half where he tried to dink the keeper. Exactly the same as he did at Palace. He tried to dink the keeper, hit him in the face. This one saved it. But other than that, Juventus were happy to let Manchester City have the ball. Let Manchester City play left to right. No problem. There's no danger there. But we're exposed. I don't know how a team like Manchester City, with the players we've got and the manager we've got, can keep conceding goals on the break like we are. We need to fix it. It's all right. A lot of people saying, Pep, we'll get it right. I do believe he will get it right, but it's frustrating to watch. As Manchester City supporters, we're all frustrated. Look at the comments and look at the abuse you're getting, because we can see it with our own eyes. You know what I mean? We are entitled to have a moan about it if things aren't going our way. People can't all of a sudden play this card and say, you've been spoiled. You've won so many years and so many titles. Does that mean that we've got to sit back and take this run of results on the chin and not say anything because we've had 4 league titles? No, because no fan base would do that. We're paying supporters. We love the team. We love the club. We want to know why things are going wrong. We've all got our own opinions on it. We're not getting on the players' cases. We're not causing a scene. We've not got the fucking bed sheets out, spraying on them, waiting outside the main entrance for Khaldoon. We're just talking about it like fans, and we're trying to get to the end of it. And at the end of the day, this run needs to stop. It needs to stop. The fear factor. You get ex-players saying, once the fear factor goes, teams come and put it on you. I think the fear factor's gone. I feel like teams coming to the Etihad now are going to think, we can get at these, let's go for it. Man United, they're having a bad season. If we're having a fucking crisis, by the way, what are they having over there? So before all the rags pop up in the chat and start talking about Man United are coming on Sunday and all that, you're 13th in the Premier League, lads. Do you know what I mean? You spent more dough than us, and we're supposed to be seeing rim ball. I'm a rim ball. Well, let's just hope you don't get rim jobbed on Sunday, because that could happen. You know what I mean? Someone's going to get a slap soon. I can feel it. So let's hope it's Sunday. But I'm not having these rags jumping in. Liverpool, Arsenal fans, pile on. Chelsea, pile on. No problem. But that lot over the road can't say nothing, because if we're in the mud, they're beyond the mud. They're Middle Earth, them, because they're that bad. I think they're just used to it. At least we ain't used to it. So people can go around saying, look at these, not used to it. These City fans have seen their ass. Right, we've seen their ass. Fucking right we have. Because we're used to a level of football and we want it back. And we want answers. And we'll get answers. And we will get it back. It won't last forever. Looks like this is going to be a season we have to take on the chin. I think looking back on this, probably next season, people will sort of have a smile about it and see what's happening. But I feel like it's woke a few people up in the club. I feel like there's people getting a little bit complacent in the jobs, and there's been mistakes made. It's clear. You don't get to this point of the season with these players, with the bench we've got, if there hasn't been mistakes. You know what I mean? You look around the Premier League and half of our academy are tearing it up where we've sold them. So we're going to have to get the checkbook out, lads. I know you're an oil club and you always go back to the checkbook. Yeah, because we are allowed to spend money and freshen our squad. I know you don't like that. I know it doesn't suit the narrative. I know you've probably not got no dough yourself, but we've got a bit of dough knocking about. Do you know what I mean? We'll lift the floorboards up in Caldoon's office and get some dough out of there and get it spent. January is an important window for us. It shouldn't be. It should be a time to relax and get everybody back. But the fact is, we're in a situation where we need to buy players. Getting players out of clubs in January, is it easy? No. Are people going to slap you because you know you're desperate? 100%. But that's the club's fault. That's the club's fault for getting in this situation. You look at other clubs and you say, oh, look at them paying that for him. They're mad. Because they had to pay it because they need that player. So we're in that boat now. We've made mistakes. We need to go and overpay and get players in. There's players out there with release clauses. Go and activate it. You know, there's players out there, pre-contract agreements. Maybe you can go down that route, get a small fee instead of them leaving in the summer. There's loans to be had. There's people all around the world who fell out of favour at clubs, probably welcome a loan move. And there's a City Football Group. We own what? Is it 13, 14 teams? There's got to be players in this group that we're on the verge of maybe coming to Manchester City in a couple of years, who they got their eye on, maybe have to excel the process and bring them in early. Because one thing we do need is bodies, able bodies, energy in the midfield, energy on the pitch. The other complicated thing is getting players in January and trying to get them up to speed in the way Pep Guardiola thinks is not easy. It's not easy. They're probably coming from a team with a different system, different culture. So trying to get them to come in and to buy into what Pep's doing is not going to be simple. So first of all, we need to stop this rot. We've got to get a win on the board. We've got to get a couple of wins on the board, start building momentum and get back. It looks like Akanji will be coming back soon. Oscar Bob may be back within the next month. Kovacic is coming back. So these are all positives. They're all positives and players that can do a job. But the striker situation, there's only Big Earl scoring the goals. There's nobody else really chipping in. You know, Doku's not chipping in really. Savio not doing it. Kevin De Bruyne's not been really doing it. Grealish has not done it. Foden's only scored a couple, I think. So we have got a problem. When you used to look at the Man City team of old, you had Riyad Mahrez, Ilkay Gundogan, you know, you had Alvarez, you had Haaland, all these players scoring goals. They were chipping in from all over the park, so goals were coming and flowing. At the minute, unless Haaland is getting the balls into him or the crosses in the box, we're not scoring goals. So it's simple as that. Last night, I was fuming. I did a TikTok just explaining my thoughts, only a minute long. Then I jumped on LB's channel and I had a little brief cameo in there, just talking to other Blues about what my thoughts was. But at the end of the day, I'm just a supporter like you guys. And we've our job is to go to the stadium and support. I'm going to do a Derby Day preview. I'm going to do it tomorrow, I think. I'll get a United fan on and we'll do that. But the rot has got to stop. It starts on Sunday. We need to pull together. There's a coach greeting outside Mary D's. Look at the 1894 Instagram. They've got all the details there. There's also displays planned for inside the stadium, which helps getting the fans going. And like you say, Man United are coming to town. They can smell blood as well. They need to kickstart their season. So for a win at the Etihad for Man United is massive. A win at the Etihad for us Sunday is massive. So although on paper, it's probably one of the worst derbies we've had in years, where the quality of the derby looks poor. But sometimes you just get a madness like that. 3-3, 4-3. You know, it could be fucking 6-1. Who knows? But we will be there, people. We will be there. And hopefully we've just got to get back on track. Everyone's confidence has took a knock. There's a different feeling about yourself when you get up in the morning, when you're on this run. It does remind you of them Stuart Pearce days a bit, which you've got to chuckle at because that's crazy. It's crazy. If somebody has said, you'd only win 1 in 10 next year where you put your mortgage on it. You're putting your mortgage on it. That don't happen. And you sat here now skint. So what do we know, people? What do we know? This is how things can change fast in a football club. But we've got to keep the faith. You know, there's none happy clapping going on here. I know there's a problem. We've spoke about it. We're talking about it. We're taking it on the chin. We've got a lot of credit in the bank. And we've got the foundations for a great rebuild. We've got a great academy. We've got good resources. We've got the City Football Group to pull on. And I feel like January's big because I'm not being funny. We all know we need bodies in January. If we don't sign anybody in January, there's a problem, in my opinion. Something's not right deep in the club. So whether it's a charges-related issue, whether it's a personnel issue, I don't know. But if we do not buy a couple of players in January or loan a couple of players in January because we desperately need bodies, there's something going on, in my opinion, because every man and his dog can see that that is what we need. So let's see. There's only 4 more games to go till January. Try and enjoy the Christmas period. You know what I mean? It's the toughest period of the year, especially when you're getting slapped every week. It's not good. These players know what it takes to win, so they've got to get back on track. There's no point in players feeling sorry for themselves. Ruben Diaz and co have got to get a grip of that dressing room and shake it up, and we've got to get that winning mentality back ASAP, and it starts Sunday. Please hit a like on the stream. Please share. Please leave a comment. I'll try and get back to you if I can. You might have seen the advert going around with the billboards in Manchester trying to see if Manchester's red or blue. Well, it started off, people were voting using the billboards, cool. Then I was told that some foreign votes slipped through the net on the United side, which wasn't allowed. And within an hour, United were behind all day. Yeah, it was 3,000 to 2,000. Then within 1 hour, United jumped to 100,000. So I said to the guys that are doing the billboards, come on, that's not realistic. It's not realistic. How's that happened? They said, look, things have slipped through the net on the foreign side, people using VPNs and all that. I mean, it's not that deep. But if they want City fans and people to compete in it and have a bit of a laugh with it, they did it for the Merseyside derby and it was close. Anyway, apparently these votes being wiped off and all sorts, so I don't know. I'm going to put a little preview in my next video for the Manchester derby. I went down and scanned it. If you see the billboards, Piccadilly Station around Manchester, scan them, vote red or blue. There is a link on my Instagram. You can click on and vote red or blue on there. Just a bit of fun for the derby, but when it gets abused like that by, you know, the pride of Singapore, it's, yeah, it's madness. But anyway, that's enough of that. 1 win in 10, not good enough. Time to strap yourselves in, get the hard hats on. We're going into battle on Sunday. We're going to take it on the chin, and let's go. Come on, City.